I'm not worried.
February 2023. The world was still living by the old financial logic, but we pressed start. We wanted to create an ecosystem that would unite artificial intelligence and finance to make asset management simple, scalable, and secure. That's how AURUM was born. The starting point was EXAI Bot, the first AI-powered trading solution, an algorithm that laid the foundation for an entire era. From that moment, we began expanding at the speed of light. We've built and are implementing a vision that includes trading AI bots, exchanges, neobank, crypto cards, and real-world asset tokenization, official registration in Hong Kong, and the first features in global media. The creation of AURUM Neobank, the launch of Zeus AI Bot, and the flash loan license surpassing $1 million in profits. The opening of our headquarters in Dubai, where hundreds of industry leaders gathered. The world started to talk about us. We were featured by Binance, Benzinga, Crypto Reporter, and Blockchain Wire. Forbes called us the new infrastructure of global finance. But this is no time to pause. We're gaining momentum. We launched AURUM Academy, strengthen our team, and appoint Brian Benson, a professional with 27 years of experience, as our CEO. Global events in Vietnam, Dubai, and Antalya. Thousands of cards sold, and the launch of the AI agent ecosystem. Today, we stand on the stage of Token 2049 Singapore, alongside the leaders of Binance, Tether, KuCoin, and Tron. And this moment once again proves AURUM is a global ecosystem of worldwide scale. But the most important part, this is only the beginning. The next decade will be one of expansion. In 2025 to 2026, we bring AURUM Neobank to the mass market. Hundreds of thousands of users, millions of transactions. The launch of AURUM Exchange, which reaches $5 billion in trading volume within its first year. AI bots manage over $100 million in assets. The first 5,000 cash-in and withdrawal terminals appear. AURUM establishes its presence in 10 countries and secures its position in the global market. In 2027 to 2028, we raise the bar. Neobank reaches 2 million users and 1.5 million cards. During this period, AURUM DEX, a next-generation decentralized exchange, launches. Personalized AI-based services emerge. Credit scoring and capital management. The first RWA deals worth $500 million are integrated. The terminal network expands to 20,000 points across 20 countries. By 2029, Neobank evolves into a super app. Flight bookings, taxis, car rentals, food delivery, while transactions exceed $20 billion. AURUM DEX cements its position within the ecosystem with $5 billion in trading volume, becoming a key element of AURUM's DeFi direction. AI agents operate for hundreds of thousands of businesses, and RWA grows to $5 billion. AURUM becomes an ecosystem that accompanies users every day. In 2030 to 2033, we reach global scale. Neobank's user base hits 12 million and over 10 million cards. Inside the super app, 15 to 20 integrated services and partnerships with 500 global brands. AURUM Exchange reaches $90 billion in trading volume and enters the top 10 global crypto exchanges. The terminal network expands to 100,000 plus locations across 50 plus countries. The annual AURUM Global Summit gathers 5,000 leaders. By 2033 to 2035, AURUM Neobank enters the top 5 global neobanks with a valuation of $10 billion plus. AURUM Exchange remains in the top 10, while AURUM DEX surpasses $20 billion in trading volume. AI manages over $5 billion in assets, and RWA exceeds $20 billion. We are present in 75 countries, with 1,000 global partners and over 100,000 terminals. The AURUM Global Summit brings together 10,000 industry leaders. AURUM becomes the symbol of a new financial era, a system that made finance accessible to everyone, a story that has already transformed the industry, and a future that already belongs to us.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen. We could nearly finish it there, couldn't we? We could say that's it for tonight. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you paid attention to the numbers, the figures, the excitement. This is the vision of Brian Benson, the CEO and founder of the company. Incredible numbers, incredible figures. So, and a big crowd on tonight. Adeyeye, welcome to the call. Thank you for joining us. Adrian's here, as well as Agent K is in the house. We've also got AI Global. Angela's here. How are you, Angela? Thank you for joining to the presentation. We've got Anthony Anmete. Never seen that before. Anmete. Welcome to the call. I'm Mehdi. We've got Anthony here. We've got Aries here. AURUM Foundation is here. Wow. We also got Ava. Welcome to the call. We've got Ben J. Ben Noble's here as well. Bert's here. Bjorn's here. Bob's here. Lots of B's here. Another Bob's as well as Brian. CKA is in the house. Chan's in the house. Chizzy's in the house. Chris is in the house. Crypto Queen all the way from the Netherlands is here. As is David's here as well. Deborah's here. Dominion City Hatfield is in the house as well. We've also got Deborah and Deb B in the house. We've got, I said Dominion, did that jump up on me? Rick is here in the call. Ferdis here as well. Also from the Netherlands, we've got Frances Blaton. Welcome to the call, as well as Francisca and Freedom Builders is here, as well as Gabriel and G. And Honest Son is in the house as well as, this is testing me, isn't it? Ibafubara, welcome to the call. Ebok, where have you been? You're back. Haven't seen you in a while. Hope all is well over there. We've got Imbless, we've got iPhone, we've got James, we've got another iPhone, we've got Jason and Jerome, Jerry, John, another John, and another John, and a John without a H. We've got a Jon John. We know who that is. Who else have we got? Yoran. Oh, they're all jumping up here. Josh is in the house. Judith's in the house. Another Judith. No, that's the same Judith. One Judith in the house. They've all jumped up again. So there's people coming in late. Chemo's here. Kevin Wilkes, how are you, sir? We've got Kajartans here. Lady V, as always. Lamar's here. Mackin Rex is here. Mark's here with a C. Mark with a K. Another Mark with, no, that's actually the same Mark. So there's two Mark Schillingers in the house with guest after him. So maybe you're on the computer and you're on the phone. Mark, how are you? Marco is here as well. NL, I guess that's the Netherlands. Who else is in the house? We've got Mark H in the house. We've got Mary, Masse, Megan, Mela, Michael, Milan, or Milan. Another Michael Newby. Michael P's here, all the way from his little restoration in France, but he's not there yet, I guess, till the weather warms up. We've got, who else have we got in the house? Miriam is in the house. Moenya is in the house. Nikita is in the house. Andy Lucas always is in the house. They all jumped up again. Ibianuchu, how are you? Okay. Uluboya is in the house. Phil is here as well as Prince Light, as Ram, Richard, another Richard, Robert DS, Robert L. Lots of Roberts. Robin is in the house. Sally's in the house. Sam's in the house. Sean's in the house. Shannon's in the house. Shayna's in the house. Sohail is in the house. Sir Lancelot is here all the way from Miami. Who else have we got? Stian is in the house. Shukadev. Shukdev. Okay, I don't know. Did I get that right? Sorry if I'm pronouncing them wrong. Stian's in the house. Somebody's in the house. Sonilla's in the house. I'm going to the T's and they all jumped away up there. I missed some of the T's. Timoteo, Todd, Trade. Ufuma is in the house. Victoria's in the house. And Wallace is in the house. And guess who's not here tonight? Can't believe it. Zoom user is not here tonight. Can you believe that? Zoom user's not here. Wow. iPhone made it, but Zoom user didn't get in tonight. That's strange. We always have Zoom user and iPhone. Zoom user's not here tonight. With that said, let's keep moving, guys, and welcome to tonight's call.
Recording in progress.
Alrighty, well, welcome to a short overview. I'm here to take a quick look at the AURUM company, the AURUM Foundation. I don't work for this company. I'm not paid to present the information. I'm just independent. I'm here to give you my own thoughts, my own opinions. I'm not here to give you any advice, any financial advice. I'm here just to peel the onion, if you wish. I'm going to look vigorously into the who's behind it, who's running this company, who's the CEO. Very, very important to check out the credentials of who's behind it. The next thing we need to know is what kind of products do they have? Is there anything of interest? Is there anything that would be interesting to you or to me or to anybody else? So we're going to take a quick look at the products, and then we'll finish up with a look at the affiliate program if anybody wants to see that side of things as well. So with that said, I'm not an accountant. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just here to share my opinions. It's always prudent to do your own due diligence. I would highly recommend that doing any business at all. If I was opening a taxi firm, I would most certainly go and speak to 2 or 3 taxi owners. I would be asking them tons of questions like, tell me a little bit about the applications you're using to do your pickup fares. Tell me the effects of Uber on your business. Is it a big hindrance, or is it disturbing your business. Tell me about the overheads. What's it costing to keep cars on the road? What about your fuel bills? Tell me about depreciation on vehicles. Tell me about, is it hard to build a business? And tell me about licenses. Tell me all about these things. That's what I'd want to know if I was looking at any business. And same here. If you're looking at something that's new to you, something strange, something foreign, do seek professional advice. And that's the best advice I can give you guys. So with that said, let's move forward and take a quick look at the structure of what we know about this company. We found out three structures. We see that in Europe, they have the AURUM Neobank operating out of Poland. We've got in the Emirates, we've got the AURUM Investment LLC. And we see in Hong Kong, they've got a registration there as well for the AURUM Foundation. So they have a multi-jurisdiction structure. Taking a look at some of the people we can see behind it, we've got Leonardo, intelligent young man, worked at government level on blockchain, based in South America, and he worked with Binance. He had his own company as well. He was it says they're former Binance strategic partner in South America. And it was Brian Benson that adopted this man into the AURUM Foundation. And Brian Benson, I recall him saying, there's nobody better, or he wouldn't have anybody else represent the exchange. So that's Leonardo dealing with the exchange. Al Risky, I don't know much about Al. I think I heard is Singaporean. He's the director of strategies. Nicholas Cleland, I've heard him on a Zoom. He's actually the head of partnerships. So as they open up new partnerships, for instance, the gold partnership, maybe the real world asset partnerships to do with data centers or property. I guess Nicholas is dealing with that. And I think Nicholas is from Oz from memory. Brent and also Tobias, these are VC advisories for the big guys. When you get these accredited investors and that type of customer, they kind of go through these guys. These guys have spoken on many media companies about AURUM and their involvement. And I think they actually run their own hedge funds and something like that from memory. Also, quite recently, was brought onto the panel as the ex-deputy finance minister from Sierra Leone. Yes, Bakari Kaloko is the guy that's going to be dealing after the African relations over there. Nick Patel will be dealing as an advisor for the real world assets. Nick's, we heard him recently there. He's over 25 years experience doing serious money in gold. He's the CEO of a company called Bank of Bullion, and he's, I suppose, he's providing the new product that we heard is launching in the next couple of weeks. It's a gold product where you buy 50% is physical gold, and the other 50% goes into a gold AI trading product. And one can produce you a yield, and the other is like a hedge against inflation. Sounds a very interesting product, and they're dealing with that division. So I see the company growing, but the man of the hour, the man of the month, the man of 2026 is certainly this man, Mr. Brian Benson. If he's not the man of 2026, I don't know. He was certainly the man of 2025. He traveled the world, built his brand. Quite a famous guy. He is a trader himself. He worked at the banks, worked in banks in America. He's from the United States with a US passport. He worked for Morgan Stanley Bank as a trader. He then moved to cryptocurrency, blockchain, Web3, however you'd like to call it. Took up a position as Binance and was very successful at Binance. He was the managing director of Latin America. So everywhere from, I suppose, Brazil down at the bottom there, the whole way right up to Mexico on the US border. This man operated that whole region, that whole continent, if you will. And Binance went from nothing to $500 million in just 6 months. And this man, I'm told that up to 20% of that revenue was generated from the region that this man was overseeing. So that tells me he certainly has a lot of experience coming from Binance, holding that role down with Binance, dealing with that sizable market, dealing with the whatever regulations were employed back in those days. Regulation is a moving target right now. A lot of crypto, you have to be sure you understand, is not regulated. You're not going to get the same protections as you would if you were dealing in futures and banks. It's a different product. And my understanding is as AURUM moves towards fiat currency, if they start onboarding pounds, euro, dollars, yen, dirhams, if they start onboarding those type of traditional currencies that we're familiar with, then the regulation side of things will ramp up. There will be what do you call it? AMLD, anti-money laundering questions. There will be KYC requirements. But right now, they're not. They're navigating the waters as best they can. But they know it's a moving target, and it's different in different countries and different jurisdictions. I know China don't allow Bitcoin, but yet no, the government holds it themselves. I know the US is becoming very, I suppose, not lenient, but very adoptive of cryptocurrency. The SEC dropped a lot of their cases, if not all of the cases, to do with cryptocurrency. The Trump administration is very positive, but at the same time, uh, there's regulations there that need to be adhered to. So in some countries, this operation will work. In other countries, it won't work, and that's just the way it is. I'm not here to tell you what your law is. I don't know what your law is in your country, but just to be aware of that. I actually did a Google on this man just to see what I could come up with, and pleasantly surprised. There's images here when he was much younger. You can see there yourself. And that tells me there's history behind this man. And that's a good thing. We're not dealing with some kind of actor. He is the Brian Benson from Binance. We see that Forbes is speaking very positively about this opportunity. In fact, they invited Brian Benson to their finance council. So Forbes obviously do their homework. As a media company, they have to report accurately. They do the rich list. They do the big CEO interviews. You know all about that. So for them to invite Brian Benson to the Finance Council tells me, well, Forbes have obviously appreciate this man's intellect, his knowledge, his experience to allow him, if it will, to represent them in the Finance Council. The next thing which was surprising was this AURUM Visa card. And of course, I've been told subsequently that there's an AURUM MasterCard version as well. I haven't seen the MasterCard. I've seen the AURUM Visa card. Um, and that tells me, well, how can you put your name on a Visa card without Visa knowing about it? Obviously, there is an intermediary bank. I've drilled down and found out who that bank actually is. It is a licensed, regulated bank that have partnership with AURUM for this product. Very surprised, actually, because presently for the what's called the AURUM Infinity card, they're not asking for your passport or your driver's license. They're not asking for a bank statement or a utility bill, which is quite strange. So there's no KYC required for this particular product. And my understanding is they're opening two more card programs that there will be KYC requirements, but this particular one, there's not. And that's quite interesting. The next thing is I did some research on him for last year, and I saw that he traveled around the world. He was in the blockchain conference down in Argentina. That was for Ethereum. They have a week down there where the Ethereum, let's call them the Ethereum heads. They talk everything Ethereum. But then he traveled the world. He went to London. He went to where did he go? To the Netherlands. He went to Germany. He went to Slovenia. He went to Greece. He went to Dubai. Then he headed way over to the east. He headed to Vietnam. There's evidence of him doing events in Vietnam. Where else was he? I was going to say Japan, but maybe not. But anyway, he did a lot. Hong Kong, that's where he was as well. And quite an interesting guy. He's running around the world, building his brand, strutting his stuff, building partnerships, building relationships, finding products, finding liquidity partners for his business and for his exchange and all of his other products. Incredible, I suppose, man on the road. He's always traveling, which is quite incredible. And he's there to meet you. He's there to face you. He's there to talk to you. Very open book with this man, Brian Benson. But at Token 2049, the largest blockchain conference there was last year, Brian Benson was speaking at it. And when I saw that, I had the feeling that here's a company that's not afraid to be exposed. Here's a company that's willing to step into an arena of experts. You know, when Binance is there and CoinMarketCap and all the media companies are at these events, and here's Brian Benson talking about his project and about his, his platform, looking for those partnerships. It's telling me this man's in here for the long haul. He's in to do business, and I've got to say that was quite impressive. Even at the end of last year at the Emirates, they have this thing called the Finance Week in the Emirates between, I suppose, Abu Dhabi and in Dubai. Brian Benson was speaking at a variety of events. He's been interviewed by Benzingo, by Cointelegraph, by all the media companies. He's been interviewed by experts. Well, I don't know if she's an expert, but I suppose she's considered as a social media expert. She asked some great questions. I think you should listen to that if you get your hands on it. And of course, more importantly, listen to Mr. Brian Benson's answers about some of her questions. And I found that quite interesting. And then I found that he was sitting on stage with these five experts, and everybody was here. But why is Brian Benson on stage? What is it so special about this man? How does he be nominated as one of the experts? Because look who he's sitting beside. He's sitting beside Sebastian Borget from Sandbox, the co-founder of Sandbox and the present chief operating officer. He's sitting next to co-founder of 1inch. These are big, big, mega platforms. And of course, the founder of EasyFlow. And I suppose Brian wants the AURUM brand to be part of this, let's call it bigness in the crypto world. But he's out there studying his stuff. And uh, that, I suppose, gave me a lot of confidence about the man, about his mission. And to top it off, then he was speaking at the Satoshi Round Table. Again, this is a private invitation only. This is where the heads of blockchain, the heads of fintech, the heads of AI get together annually to discuss the future of the industry. And for Brian Benson to be considered as an expert in this arena, again, that's something also very impressive. And that's possibly why Forbes have actually invited him to their finance council, because they know this man he knows everybody. I mean, like he tells me, he was sitting with the CEO of Binance and one of the guys from BlackRock, the big financial institution. So he's in there, in the mix of it, and it's bound to give somebody confidence. And here's a photograph of Brian Benson with the founder of Binance, CC, the man himself. So it is the real Brian Benson. It's not the actor. It's the real man, and that's who's leading this charge. So that's, I suppose, as much as I could do about the company. I did find a registration in Hong Kong. You can see it there on the screen, and also I was able to get this commercial license issued by the government of Dubai. You can see that up there. They have offices in Dubai. I can see it's written in Arabic and a little bit in English. I see they've stroked out the phone numbers and fax machine. Well, I don't think there are fax machines anymore, but this document is available in the AURUM corporate office in Dubai if you want to get your hands on that. But that's as much as I was able to dig into in terms of the company side of things. I think it's very important to have a reputable company, or a profile anyway. And the next thing I wanted to check out was the product range. What are they offering? Well, they have these point of sale terminals, which are quite unique because, I mean, if you think about it, most businesses have one of these right now. So why would AURUM do one? A very simple reason is this particular one's different. This one accepts cryptocurrency payments in addition to the standard Visa, MasterCard, Fiat banking rails. So that's quite interesting. They're designing these ATM machines as well. And also they've launched their exchange for what's called public beta testing. So it's not in its final glory. They've a lot to do with the branding, but operationally wise, it's working perfectly. I mean, I would have no use for something like this, but let's say I was interested in swapping, I don't know, Bitcoin or USDT to Bitcoin or Bitcoin to Ethereum or some of those type of things. I don't know how to trade or how these things work, but I know that this is up and operating. People are using it already. And this has been out since November last year as well. So that's pretty interesting. But what's more interesting is that Brian Benson is willing to give 50% of the fees back to the community. And that's quite interesting. 50%. I mean, if you think about Binance, just think about what Binance did. Think about what they turned over last year, and then ask yourself, well, how did Binance turn over that money? Where did the profits come from in Binance? And you'll find it's from transaction fees. So imagine Binance offered 50% of their transaction fees back to the community. Wouldn't that be a great offer? Well, Brian Benson has agreed to do it here with the AURUM exchange. So that's an incredible product. And also on the exchange, they have this liquidity staking product. Now, the liquidity staking product is quite sensational because they're offering 17 to 20% a year on your money. This is an annual yield. If you understand yield, let me give you an example. If you bought a property for $100,000 and you rented that property out to someone, a business or a customer, for $10,000 a year, your annual yield would be 10%. Okay, so that's a very good yield. On $100,000, 10% is sensational. And in real estate, it's very difficult to get that. You probably get between 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You probably get somewhere between 5 and 10% yield a year. This is totally different. This is 17 to 20% a year. I would say that's much better than property. I'm no expert, but the difference between property and liquid money is a big difference. There's lots of rich people that have properties, but they're not cash rich. They don't have the money. It's in the value of the real estate. And if, God forbid, they had a medical emergency and they needed $100,000, they have to sell the whole property to take out the $100,000. But with this, you can withdraw at any time. Profit in principle. It pays you free Bitcoin every day. You get free Ethereum, free Solana, free Litecoin, whatever it is you're trading actually, you're not trading, whatever you're staking on the platform. This account gives you free Bitcoin every day, free USDC every day to the tune of 17 to 19% a year. And you can also withdraw it at any time you want. Profit in principle, half and half, all or some. It's entirely up to you. So it's not locked in. It's not trading. It's a phenomenal product, better than any bank I know, better than real estate, better than gold bullion itself. Now, talking about gold, we've got Nick Patel. Nick is the CEO of the Gold Bullion Company, but he's also Clink Gold, if you've heard of Clink Gold. And they're working in tangent with the government of Sierra Leone, the ex-finance minister, to put together a fabulous product. I don't want to talk too much about that right now. I don't have all the details. It was announced today on a VIP call, but it sounds quite sensational that you could get the physical metal gold, and a portion of your account would be used to trade gold through AI. So there are two benefits: the physicality of the metal itself, and the other side is the trading of that gold against USDC. And that's quite an interesting product that we're going to learn off very soon. What I'd like to do now is just take a second to listen to Brian Benson himself. Brian Benson, as I say, he was very successful over at Binance. He saw thousands of people becoming millionaires, but that's exactly what he wants to do here. Now that he's got the CEO role, not the managing director role, he wants to create 1,000 millionaires and build $1 billion business. Let's have a listen.
We're on a mission to create 1,000 millionaires that don't have $1 million today. So if we can come up with a system whereby there's hundreds of thousands of people in there, but 1,000 of these people be turned into millionaires, then those assets are inside of our platform. That turns us into a unicorn right away. And so that's really the goal that I have as an executive at the company, is how do we get people that don't have $1 million today to get them to $1 million through saving, through yield-bearing assets, through a lot, compounding interest, through a lot of these things that have been around for a long time, but that not everyone in the world uses. And these are tools that are super important to get us there. So that's how we're measuring it internally, is if we can get to the point where we have 1,000 people that have become millionaires through our system and through working with our products, then that gets us really close to the unicorn valuation. And we want to be a fintech unicorn. I think Binance was the fastest fintech unicorn ever in the history. Yeah. I think it took less than 6 months. We used to have a slide about that in our pitch deck. So I'm pretty sure I've done this before. I've been involved in one of the fastest growing fintech unicorns in the world. And I think what we have at AURUM is actually very similar to when I started at Binance.
Oh, very interesting. He's done this before. That's what he said. He wants to create 1,000 millionaires. That's what he said. And what he also said is, I think what we have here at AURUM is very similar to when I started at Binance. So he's starting to feel that same energy around this company here, around the growth of the company, the customer growth, the revenues. He's starting to see or feel that again here. So quite interesting. And I think everybody needs a visionary leader to follow. People like the Bill Gates of the world and the Elon Musks, these visionary leaders build fabulous companies. And the fact that this guy was instrumental in the development of Binance. I mean, he was part of the team that brought Binance Pay to Binance. He was working with Leonardo, who's now the CEO of the AURUM exchange. He seems to be putting together a great team here again, but that's just my opinion. Looking at the people that are working the operations, it seems fairly good. Now let's give you some bad news, because it's not all good news. The bad news is it's going to cost you $20 for the year. This is a subscription-based model, just like you would pay a subscription to the gym. Here, the $20 subscription gives you access to the products. Now, from a compliance point of view, my understanding is, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not here to give any financial advice, but I don't think you are either. Most people aren't. There are very few financial advisors, and in which case, I think the only thing you can do, or I could do, is actually promote the website, just like you're promoting a travel website or a clothing website. You're promoting the website. It's a $20 business, let's call it. But once your customer registers with AURUM, and once they subscribe to AURUM, it's actually AURUM that's supplying and working directly with your customer, not you anymore, because you don't have any products to sell this customer. You don't own any AI technology. You don't own any exchange. You don't have any point of sale terminals. You don't even have these cards. So you can't sell them anything, and you're not allowed to sell people anything. You are able to refer to a website and then allow the customer to engage directly with the company themselves. Let them do their own due diligence. Let them make up their own mind. As my dad used to say, you're big enough, old enough, and ugly enough to make your own decisions. So and that's how it is. Now, when we look into some of the other products, because we've talked now about Visa cards, which are physical products, we've talked about point of sale terminals to go into shops and ATM machines and exchanges. Let's now look at another side of their business where they have the digital type products. And by the way, the real word assets is a mixture of both. Gold is a physical product, but they've also got one section, or half of the product would go into an AI trading gold. So that's quite interesting. But this is their most famous product, I'm told. It's been around since 2023, which is quite interesting. It's done phenomenally well. We can see that as of the 1st of February 2026, they had 77 million trading. And more recent information has told us that there's now $90 million traded in the EXI bot. We can see on the screen here the profits. This would be January's profits would be 11 million, and February's profits were $13 million. So that's pretty incredible. On average, this product is realizing for the company in around 17.5% a month. Again, past performance is not indicative of any future results, but with the data they're showing us here, and I've seen data going back to 2023. In 2023, it was doing something like 9% one month, and then it jumped up to like 17% the next month, and then the next month it was back down at 12%, and then it was up to 15%. It was like very choppy at the beginning in 2023. In 2024, and obviously 2025, which is on the screen here, it was much smoother. You can see better performance, or more, let's call it consistent performance. Like 15%, 17, 17, 17, 17, 16, 17, 18, 18, 17, 17, 17. So you can see roughly on average it's doing about 17.5% a month. Now, of course, that's not available for you. That's not available for me. I'm not trying to sell you that. That's what the entire fund is doing. But of course, dependent on the client themselves, what they decide to do with the company, that would determine the potential benefit for a customer. So let's say a customer tried, I don't know, $120 or $180, something like that. You're going to fall into the basic category. And I'm told those customers are getting somewhere in the region of 10% a month, which is very, very, very good. Considering real estate, if you got 10% a year, you'd be happy. 10% a month is sensational. For those customers that can do better than that, let's say you can do $400 or $716 or $908. That'll fall into the standard category, somewhere in that region. There's no fixed amount or package, just whatever you put in your own account. Though this range is getting 11% a month or thereabouts. For those of you that can do between 1,000 and 2,500, those accounts are enjoying 12%, I'm told. And you can see yourself there. Obviously, the larger the deposit to your own account, the better the potential rewards. Again, past performance is not indicative of future results. This is based on historical information that they've shared with us. But that said, I mean, it's quite impressive. I was able to get my hands on 2 accounts This one was a $500 deposited account. We can see the start date because it was created on the 17th of April. If you look on the left-hand side of the screen there, but you'll not see 500. You'll see 882. And the reason for that is that the account has profited by $382. It started indeed with $500, but at this point we're looking at it is 882. So you might have a question for me, and that would be, well, how long did it take to get from this $500 to the 882? And I can tell you the answer's on the screen. If you look at the bottom right-hand side of the screen, you'll see this was taken on the 17th of September last year, 2025. So if we take the account starting on the 17th of April, and we're now looking, let's say, at the 17th of September, we're talking about a 5-month window. And in those 5 months, this account has made $382. Now, I wasn't particularly impressed when I saw that, because my reckoning or my reasoning was, well, that wouldn't feed my family. $382 in 5 months, it didn't seem like a lot of money. However, when you do the maths on it, it's spectacular. It really, really is. It's sensational, because to do the maths accurately, you take the profit, which is 382, there's it there. You put it on top of the deposit, which was 500 in this case. And when you divide the 500 into the 382, you divide the bottom number to the top number, and that gives you your percentage. And that was 76% in 5 months. Is there any bank in the world you'd get that? Is there any property in the world that you know that could get you 76% in 5 months? Not that I know of. Is there any bar of gold you could buy that would get you 76% in 5 months? Crazy numbers, guys. Crazy, crazy numbers. For a small account, that was very, very impressive, I've got to say. Now, I also got access to a larger account, probably an accredited investor. This account was opened on the 10th of April. You can see inside the oval shape there. The account was funded with $10,000, but look, guys, it's $12,360. So this account has made $2,360. So you have the same question again. Well, how long did this take? How long did it take to get from 10,000 to 12,000? And the answer is on the right-hand bottom corner. Can you see the 16th of May? So if the account was funded on the 10th of April, from the 10th of April to the 10th of May is 1 month. And from the 10th of May to the 16th of May is another 6 days, a month and 6 days. Allow me to round it up just for illustration purposes. This account has done 23% in 5 weeks. 5 weeks, incredible. After 10 weeks, the data shows the account jumped from 12,000 up to 15,000, made another $3,000. After 12 weeks, it went up to $17,000. And after 4 months, this particular account doubled. Now, again, I'm not saying your account's going to do that. This account most definitely did do it. I know I can see the reinvestment button here. Can you see this little white button inside a green slider? It's sliding over to the right. What that means is if a customer opted to turn that on, it would mean that the profit gain today will remain inside Binance with the principal amount that you had. And the two of them will work together tomorrow to trade. So it's not just the 10,000, it's 10,100, 10,300, 10,900, 11,000. So it's an expanding amount known as a compounding effect. And not everybody understands it, because in this world, we don't benefit from it really. The banks benefit from it, but we don't generally. But if you go to ChatGPT or go to, I don't know, Google, or what do you call that other thing, YouTube, you can ask it, explain to me the benefits of daily compounding, let's say at a rate of 0.5% a month for a year. Put in a number and let's see what ChatGPT tells you. And you'll find that it is possible, which is quite incredible. And again, that account doubled in 4 months. I'm not going to say yours is. Maybe you started a different time. Maybe there were different trades. Maybe you started with a different amount. Maybe your account wasn't reinvesting. Maybe you had it on for a week and off for a week, because you're in control. You can turn it off and on as you wish. But this particular account, this is real customer data, so I'm not making stories up here. And this has been verified. Now, moving on, my question was, well, how on earth can you make money like this? How was this possible to make so much money? And I soon learned that there's a website called CoinMarketCap. It's an aggregated website that pulls the prices from every coin, every token and it populates this website with averages. In other words, if Bitcoin was $74,000 on Binance, and it was 74,500 on OKX, and it was 73,820 on KuCoin, there's a difference on the different exchanges. But this site pulls it all together to give you an overview average. It's a very good site, and you can see here. You can check this yourself if you wish. Just go to gains for the last 24 hours, 1 day. Here's one that made 2,000% in a day. So when we see AURUM offering 10% to 15 or 16 in a month, and we see it's possible for a coin just to jump 2,000% in a day, to, if you got a wee piece of that profit, if you got 10% of that profit, it would be 200%. It's incredible. But here's another one. Elevate did 816, Beers did 540. Here's the Pepe Trump coin did 400% in 1 day. And when I saw this, I started saying, well, okay, maybe this crypto stuff maybe it is possible. Maybe there's that much volatility in the market that if the AI is fast enough, quick enough, has the information, it can make 10% a month. But these are daily figures, 24 hours, guys. I mean, that's just insane. So that allowed me to reason a little bit with the potential of this. So that's called the EXI bot. They have 8 or 9 more of these things. That's just one of them. They've one called the Pro bot. I think they have 7 inside the Zeus bot, maybe only 6 or 7. You can trade Bitcoin, Ethereum, Doge, Pepe, Solano now is in there as well. BNB, the Binance token is there as well. And those are available in a decentralized fashion on Telegram. Quite interesting. And you can take your profit out every day. You can even take your principal out with those ones. So each bot has a different function, has a different parameters, different rules. But again, this is just an overview for educational purposes. The last thing I want to finish with is this card we talked about earlier. Again, very surprised that you're able to get a card without KYC. And look what it says here, $100,000 a month spending limit. So I'm told that if you go over 100,000 in a month, then you would be required to provide the documents. But under 100,000 a month, I mean, I don't know who needs that kind of money, but that's sensational. It's working on Apple Pay and Google Pay. I don't know how those things work, but the kids know how to add them to the phone. You can add the card to the phone and you just double click a button and go tap the phone. So that all works. And there's been people using this card since June, I believe, 2025. So it's not a new thing. It's out there. Now, the physical card is hard to get. I'm told that. But the digital card, the virtual card, you can have that in 5 minutes today if you wanted it. Just order the card and find somebody that knows how to connect it to Apple and Google Pay, and off you go. You can stop the trading bot from trading. You can send your profit on to this card. If you don't want to do the trading products, that's fine. You don't have to do trading products. You can do maybe that staking product on the exchange. Maybe you just want the card. There's people who want different things, but maybe you're a business and you want the point of sale terminal. Maybe you're just interested in the gold product. There's so many products in the ecosystem. But let's say you wanted to put cryptocurrency onto a card. You wanted to be able to spend it. You can import your crypto from Coinbase or Binance or any of these exchanges that's out there, Trust Wallet. You can import it to your AURUM account and just go top up. So you don't have to trade. Just bring it in and put it on the card, and then you go spend it, which is a very cool operation for those of you, people say it's very difficult to get cryptocurrency and it's very difficult to spend it. That's the two parts of it. It's hard to get, and then when you have it, it's hard to spend. Well, I think this solves one of the problems. It's very easy to spend when you can just bring it into your wallet here and push it up onto the card. So it gives you a chance to spend your crypto. So there you go. I'm going to show you an example of the card working. This guy is in the UK back in June. This was the second time he ever used it. He stopped the bot from trading. He pressed top up card, and off he went to the shop to get himself some milk.
Here we go then, second official transaction.
No, purple and white. Thank you.
Lovely, thank you, Mina.
There you go. Imagine being able to spend this cryptocurrency stuff in the local grocery store. All people are buying flights online. I mean, it's working everywhere, and even working in the ATM machines. We have one example here. A gentleman from India now, he's speaking in Hindi, but the machine itself is talking in English. So this is interesting. Have a look how the card works in an ATM machine.
हेलो दोस्तों, आप मेरे हाथ में ये कार्ड देख रहे होंगे, औरम का वीज़ा कार्ड, और मैं आज इंडिया में पहली बार एटीएम से इससे कैश विड्रॉल करने का प्रोसेस कर रहा हूँ। और देखते हैं ये किस तरीके से काम करता है। ये बिल्कुल उसी तरीके से काम कर रहा है जैसे नॉर्मल अकाउंट एटीएम करते हैं। और मैं फ़िलहाल केवल 500 रुपीज़ इसमें से विड्रॉल करने की कोशिश करता हूँ और मैंने ये दबा दिया और ये बोल रहा है कि आप कितना कन्वर्जन के साथ आप किस तरीके से आगे बढ़ना चाहते हैं, और मैंने इस पर कंटिन्यू कर दिया और ये इसमें कैश विड्रॉल मुझे अवेलेबल करा रहा है, जैसे कि आप देख ही रहे होंगे। और इसने बोला कि आप अपना कार्ड निकाल लीजिएगा। मैंने अपना कार्ड वापस ले लिया और ये मैंने 500 रुपीज़ आज फ़िलहाल विड्रॉल करके पहली बार ट्राई किया और ये सक्सेसफुल हुआ। थैंक यू।
There you go. Interesting product. So that's our presentation over. Again, it's just to give you an overview. I'm not here to give you my link and try to sign you up. I'm just here to share information with you for educational purposes. Please get your very valid questions answered. Do your own due diligence. Speak to a professional before making any business decisions in or around any opportunity. And with that said, I wish you every success going forward in the decision you make, and I hope it's the right one for you and for your family. So with that said, thanks and have a great rest of your evening. Goodbye. Thanks now.
Recording stopped.
Alrighty, guys, for those of you who'd like to stay on just for a moment, I'm happy because there's always a demand. People ask me, could I explain the affiliate program? And for those of you who like to stay just for 5 minutes, I can show you how that works. It's pretty cool. So let's take 5 minutes and show you that for those willing to stay. If you're not interested in the affiliate program, you're perfectly entitled to go. The affiliate program doesn't cost anything, by the way. It's free. So, but if you'd like to see it, you're very welcome to stay. If not, I'll allow you to go. So here we go.
Recording in progress.
Well, thanks. And let's take a quick look at the AURUM affiliate program. Affiliate programs are very, very popular today. I know that Amazon have one, very popular one. I know that Binance have one. I know that Tesco, for those of you who live in the UK, Ireland, or parts of Europe, Tesco's a big, big shopping brand. They have an affiliate program. Many companies have. Apple have one. I think most companies are moving in that direction. AURUM have decided to have one as well. But the AURUM one is quite unique. There are 15 ranks in the AURUM affiliate program. Really down to the individual how far they want to go in it. It's very, very simple. You start as a Nova. It doesn't cost anything. Once you have a neobank account with this company, they will give you an affiliate link in your account. It's your choice whether you use that or you don't use it. You don't have to use it if you don't want to share it with anybody. But if you felt you enjoyed some of the products or you wanted to promote a product or make a recommendation at least, you can get a thank you bonus if somebody takes up on the recommendation. I mean, we recommend everything. We recommend holiday destinations. We recommend accountants. The ladies recommend the hairdresser. The boys recommend the car mechanic, your favorite car mechanic. You know, we're promoting things every day of our lives. But here, if there was a product you liked and you wanted to refer someone, and they register with your referral link, which is optional, the company give you a handshake. They give you a bonus, just like Amazon do. The bonus is 3% on the deposit made. So the customer's making an order, and you get a handshake. That's it, just 3%. If the customer does $100, you get $3. You're not going to get rich. If you have two customers, then you're going to get 3% twice. If one of your customers orders another product, well, you get paid again. So it's ongoing, but it's only 3%. So you probably need quite a few customers if you really wanted to build a direct sales business. I would have no interest in that myself, but I know lots of people can get lots of customers. There's influencers there can get lots of customers. But you can go the whole way to the top of the affiliate program here with just 2 or 3 customers. And that's quite interesting. But if you want to get a pay rise and go from, say, 3% up to 5%, that is possible once you bring 7,500 of total trading volume from all of the customers in your entire structure. So that includes your own customers and maybe some that they might have and some more customers that they might have. The entire customer base, when it's spending 7,500 on that EXI bot, you get this thank you bonus. You get a bonus of $100, and you get promoted to 5% instead of 3. Now, that's quite interesting, but if one of your customers brings another customer, they get the 3 and you get 2. You get the difference between, okay, if you bring the customer, you get 5. But if somebody else brings a customer, you get 2% on that customer. Infinity generations in depth. Doesn't matter how many customers come in. From you to infinity, if you're the only Voyager, you're getting 2% on every deposit on every customer every day. In addition to the $100 one-time cash bonus, you now get 5% matching bonus every day on the profits generated by all of the customers in your team. You might have only shared it with 2 customers. Those 2 customers might have got 1 each. There's 4 customers. You're getting 5% on all of them. One of those 4 customers might bring 10. Now you're getting paid on 14 customers. And as it grows to infinity generations, you're getting this 5% as long as you're the only Voyager on the line. Now, if you'd like more than 5%, let's say you fancy 7%, you need a pay rise. To get the pay rise, you go Vanguard. To go Vanguard, there's just a couple of requirements. The 7,500 trading volume has to grow to 25,000. You have to have 2 Voyagers in the entire structure. The good news is you don't have to find them, these superstar Voyagers. Maybe one pops up in the 4th generation. Maybe another one pops up down in generation 11. You don't know who they are. As long as there's 2 Voyagers in the team on 2 separate legs, 25,000 in total, you get that Vanguard promotion. You now get 7% on all the deposits from your customers. Now, if somebody else brings the customer, let's say this person brings the customer, they get 3, you get 4%. You're getting now the difference between 7 and 3, which is 4% on every customer deposit to infinity generations in depth. You get a $500 instant bonus. You don't wait or ask for it. It arrives in your account instantly once it's achieved. And now your daily matching bonus each day is increased to 7.5% off the profits of all customers. Let's say I was your customer, as an example, and I made $100, hypothetically. You would make $7.50. Let's say tomorrow I got another $100 profit. You'd make another $7.50. Let's say the next day I got $200 of profit. You would get $15. It's 7.5% of all the profits every day of all of your customers, but not just all of your customers, all of theirs and theirs and theirs in the entire team, until you reach the likes of the Voyager. Once you hit that Voyager, you're going to get 7.5% on their account, but from there down, you're not, because the Voyager's getting 5%, you're getting 2.5 override on all customers to infinity. When there's a Voyager on the leg, if there's no Voyager, you're getting 7.5 to infinity on all customers. Really good bonuses. Now, again, this is just an overview. I'm not here to explain it in any more depth other than that, just to give you an overview. They do presentations and trainings to explain this kind of stuff. But if you've got a basic understanding of what I said, you understand 90% of it, because to get a higher percentage, for instance, 9%, all you need is a little bit more volume and a little bit more structure. If you want 10.5%, it's a little bit more volume, a little bit more structure. If you want 13.5%, it's a little bit more volume, a little bit more structure. But look at the cash bonuses that are coming along here. $1,000, $2,000, $5,000, $10,000. Incredible. I told you that there are 15 different ranks. That's just 7 of them. And this ranking system is just like traditional business you're familiar with. Maybe you work on the shop floor when you start off in life, and the boss would promote you to supervisor after 6 or 7 months. They recognize you've done a good job, and they give you a rank advancement to supervisor in the shop, and you get a pay rise. Would that be normal? And then maybe a year or 2 down the line, the boss says, hey, I'd like you to apply for manager. There's a position going in the shop as manager. You've been here for 3 years. You're great. I'd love you to go for that manager position. And with that rank comes a pay rise. And maybe 3 years later, the boss said, you know what? Your shop is the best out of all our stores in the county. We'd like you to be area manager of all 6 stores. And now you get a pay rise with the rank. And then ultimately you want to become a director and get a pay rise with the rank. This is the same, pay rise with rank. It's incredible. And there are 15 ranks. So when you hit elite, you get a 20,000 bonus. When you hit magnet, you get 50,000 bonus. I know people that have been working in companies for 40 years, and when they retire, they get a little watch for $1,000 as a thank you. These are $50,000 bonus, $100,000 bonus, $150,000 bonus, $500,000 bonus. Now, again, it sounds unbelievable, doesn't it? But you remember what Brian Benson said? He said, I want to create 1,000 millionaires. And I've no doubt that if you roll up your sleeves, learn this business, have an appetite for success, if you're willing to learn, if you're willing to work, and you walk up those 12 or 13 steps to Dominion, You're one of Brian Benson's millionaires. I've spoken to 3 people that have already done this inside 11 months. Inside 11 months. So it is possible, and I believe if somebody else can do it, so can you. Yeah, it's the same Brian Benson that they're working for that maybe you'll have a look at. It's the same products that they're using that you can use. It's the same compensation plan I'm showing you that I showed them. It's the same 24 hours in a day that you've got, that they've got. There's no difference. The difference in the success is sitting on your seat right now. You are the only variable. You are the one that makes the decision. You want to walk up these steps. I call it walking up the steps. The first step is from Nova to Voyager. It's just a step up the business. The next step is Vanguard. The next step, that's all you do. You make these steps, 8, 9, 10, there are 15 steps. So step 11, 12, 13, 14, step 12 is Dominion. Take 12 steps up the mountain. You're one of Brian Benson's millionaires. Now, there's other people, of course, can't relate to those big, big numbers. It's quite hard to conceive. And some people are interested in making $100 a week extra coming into the household. And that's possible. An extra 100 a week, an extra 400 a month is a great advantage for some families. That extra 400 a month just helps them with the family groceries, helps them get a little bit of debt brought down, helps them some way in their life. 100 a week is very possible. There's other people who would like to make $100 a day. Now that's possible as well, like $700 a week. An extra what? $2,000 or $3,000 a month. Would that be beneficial to some households? Absolutely. But you set your own limits because you will get paid exactly what you're worth based on the effort you put into your own business. That's how it works. So it only is a $20 business, by the way. It's just $20. But please don't treat it like a $20 business if you expect to earn more. Treat it like a $200,000 bonus. Give it that attachment mentally and physically. What do I mean? If you invested $200,000 in a shop in town, would you be down there in the morning at 8 o'clock cleaning those windows? Would you be turning off those alarms and opening those roller shutters? Would you be inviting customers into your shop and greeting them? Would you be cleaning the shelves and stacking the shelves and make them look presentable? Would you be serving the customer? Would you be giving them change? Would you be giving them a till receipt? Would you be doing the banking and the lodgements? Would you be dealing with customer service? Would you be dealing with the staff? That's the type. You want to go to the lofty ranks of Dominion. That's the type of, I suppose, attitude you have to put into the business to get those kind of business results. But if you want to do it airy-fairy, fluffy-duffy, part-time, no time, there's something here for everyone, guys. That's my opinion on it. It's all my own opinions. I'm no expert in it at all, but having a look at this, that's how I feel about it. But anyway, again, you're your own boss. Do your due diligence. Go seek professional advice before you spend any $20 with anybody. Make sure you're happy, and whatever decision you come up with, I hope it's the right one that you make for you and for your family. And I hope the efforts you attach get you the rewards that you deserve. That said, thank you so much again, and have a great rest of your day. Goodbye. Cheers.